You've presented this argument very compellingly in the past, many times, about the fact that not just Southeast Asia, but the global South would have been very much used to multipolarity. And when it is specifically about Southeast Asia, I think people tend to underestimate the degree of agency that we have and we've been able to show for the past thousands of years. But in this tension between the US and China, right? What would be your prediction about what could or would happen with Taiwan?
First, let me say a quick word about Southeast Asia,
Right.
since you mentioned it, because it's the one of the biggest ideas that most leading Western minds cannot see.
Yeah.
Is that the world of tomorrow will be very different from the world of yesterday, where the West dominated the world. They cannot see this new world. So let me give everyone a shorthand view of understanding the world of tomorrow. And I'm going to call it the 3M world. The 3 M's that will define the world of tomorrow is 1, multi-civilizational, 2, multipolar, as you said, 3, multilateral. Because in the world that is a small global village, you need multilateral institutions. Now, guess what? Which is the one region in the world that intuitively understands the 3 M's? Multi-civilizational, multipolar, multilateral? That's ASEAN. And so ASEAN, therefore, is a living laboratory of how the world can cope with this new world of tomorrow. And I think the rest of the world should pay greater attention to what ASEAN does. And again, I hope that President Prabowo will make an effort to explain ASEAN better to the rest of the world, because we have an amazing ASEAN story that hasn't been sold to the world. But on your question of Taiwan, it's very important to start off with a key point here. Taiwan is not an international problem. Taiwan is an internal problem. And remember, even the United States has officially acknowledged a one China policy. A one China policy means that both Taiwan and China are part of one China. It doesn't mean one China, one Taiwan. So this is a basic point that people keep forgetting. And so if the United States says, I must say, I'm very glad that the Biden administration, one of the best things the Biden administration has done, especially after the very disruptive visits of Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan, is to emphasize that the United States has not backed away from its one China policy. And you notice how relations between US and China stabilized a bit after San Francisco.
Yeah.
Because I think the United States gave a categorical assurance. Now, so and my hope is that if Donald Trump is elected president, that he will also reiterate the one China policy. But unfortunately, some of his advisors may dangerously move away from that. And I'm not exaggerating here, because his former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, after he stepped down as Secretary of State, went to Taiwan and gave a speech in which he recommended that the US should recognize Taiwan as an independent country. Now, Mike Pompeo is an incredibly intelligent, sophisticated person. He knows that if the United States recognizes Taiwan as an independent country, he's calling for a declaration of war by China against Taiwan. So that's why it's very important that the advisors who advise Trump on China issues emphasize that he should reiterate that United States remains committed to its one China policy.